Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Oh, I'm super happy. You know what, I want to celebrate. It's like I want to celebrate because I have so many great people around me, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to celebrate because apparently when we are happy, I don't know if we are able to celebrate, yes or no. So we will speak about that, of course, today. If we are allowed or not to celebrate again, if we believe in the Scudetto. Why? Because today they were the words of Cherubini and Dybala that were actually contradicting Mr. Allegri. They were believing it. Mr. Allegri is saying no. We'll speak about Vlahovic because the last time that we spoke together with Alexa, with Marcella, and with Christine, we were saying that what now? What about the next step after the injury of Chiesa? Vlahovic joined. We didn't speak about it yet at the moment, so that's what we'll do. Enough agenda for today. I want to say hello to the new person of the channel because it's the second time that she's on together with us. Ciao Alexa, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Beppe?
I'm doing okay. I'm super happy to be back with the live. I'm doing a bit less lives except of the post game. So when I have the chance and the honor to speak to so many people, I'm super happy. Ciao Marcella.
Ciao Giuseppe, hi Christine, hi Alexa. It's great to be back here with you guys tonight and looking forward to a great episode.
I can't wait. Ciao Christine, how are you doing? Because you're continuing, eh? One live, then the other live, then the other live. But
I'm amazing. I would not miss the A team. I have missed your face, so I'm here. I'm locked in. We're doing this.
I'm super happy. Today you are representing
Wait,
Torino.
how is everybody in the chat?
And that's what I wanted to ask. But then first, wait, because I made a joke and then people, they will not understand. I said, today you are representing Torino with your beautiful Granata colors.
I look good in this color. I can't help it. Okay. It wasn't intentional.
And then we see Marcella with a total new background. We see also Christine. Christine is double today. Eh? She's there live and then she's on the wall of Marcella behind. Also live.
Oh my God. I can't figure out how to get my camera to zoom out a little bit. It's a little close, but
it's okay. I like. And let's say hello to the people, like Christine said, to the people in the chat, because we have Cliff. Ciao, Cliff. He's saying, looks at the amazing group of people, not just wandering Juventinas, but also some amazing human beings. He's totally correct. Alejandro. Cheers, girl power today. It is true. We like to have these kind of things like once in a while. Stavros is there. We have Manjiro. Who's there as well? RB comes, Bianconeri, Aman is there, AG, who is following Christine from one live to the other, is always there. Ciao AJ, and saying hello to Alexa, or Lex, who are you, however you want to call her. This is the live of the year. Hey, don't put the expectation too much on me, guys, because I'm tired, but probably Marcella, Alexa, and Christine, they will put the level a bit higher. So, guys, you know how it is on the channel. Maximum of comments after that you made a maximum of likes, because no comments without the likes. I see if you are liking or not. So you put a like, you put a comment, we will read it and we will interact a lot. What do we start with? Yesterday we won at the 92nd minute and then disaster. Disaster because again, the Juventini are split. You have the ones that are saying disgusting performance. Sorry to Fiorentina. Sorry to the gods of Calcio because it was absolutely not deserved. And like this, it is not represented for Juventus. And then you have on the other part people who are saying, who cares? Because this is football, and football, there is one rule: putting more than the opponents the ball into the net. And if you do that, you win the game. So we have two different schools, and both of them are respectful. Today I made a video where I was super angry towards some Juventini because they were using some big words.
I gotta tell you, Beppe, I like when you go full heel and you're
today,
all
yes.
angry. I like the villain side. I want him to come out more often.
Today I was in the video of today of my channel. I was super villain today. Eh?
I watched it. I liked it twice. I know the second like didn't count, but I did it anyway.
No, because you know if you like twice, it will disallow the first like. Eh? So don't do that. Three times is okay.
Don't worry. I did it multiple times.
No. Today I was pissed off. I was pissed off because you know what I heard the word. It is a shame to support Juve. And I don't like that. So who want to take the lead on the game of yesterday? Not really the game in itself. We will go back on that in a few minutes. But the feeling, because it's true, it was not, Juventus didn't play well.
I'll go.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm firmly in the why not both camp.
Thank you.
One, did they play well? No. Was I excited about the performance? Absolutely not. Did they win? Yes. Am I happy they won? Yes, I am. I don't really understand the logic or the value in diminishing a win uh, in the way that the game's designed. You know, like if they didn't want own goals to count, they simply would not count in the game. Like that's calcio. That's how it goes, right? Like somebody's going to make a fatal error. You wait for it. You capitalize on it. You win. Period. End of story. Does that mean that your trajectory is going to continue to climb and go up, and they'll end up winning Coppa Italia? Who knows? But the reality of it is, like I can be displeased with the performance and pleased with a win. There's a duality there. If you are um, sorry, I'm seeing Cecilia pop in. For what? It's super absurd. Who said that is not a real Juventino? And I'm not sure which she's referring to, if she's answering me or somebody else's comment in the chat.
No, no,
But
no. Saying about the people that are saying like it's a shame and so on. Sorry to
yeah,
Fiorentina and so on.
I don't understand that logic. It's not like they did something dishonorable. They played the game as it was intended to be played. Granted, not well or pretty. We're kind of patching our entire squad together with duct tape and prayers. Um, I have a little bit of a disappointment, even consistently with Allegri, and that's even in his post-match assessment, and also in some of the guidance that he's giving players. I feel like he's almost doing this weird spin thing that's not. It's overt. You know, it's like saying like, oh, you know, Arthur is thriving, but you know he could pass the ball sooner. That's just a nice way of saying the guy doesn't know instinctively when he should be passing the ball and he's hanging on to it for too long. So I feel like if you can't understand that about the game and the things that went awry, there's a problem. All in, we won. Cheer, yay, woo! Like there's again, like the fact that there are Juventini that are complaining about this, knowing that this is not atypical for Juve as a squad, even in the past. Sometimes it's ugly. They win. Period. End of story. They do what works, especially under Allegri. That part is a little bit confounding to me because it makes me think, are you guys new here?
Do you see progression? And I'm asking to the three of you. Do you see any progression from the beginning of the season, because Allegri is there since the beginning of the season, until today that we are actually the 3rd of March? Is there any progression? Because yesterday I can understand also people that are saying we see no progression because we are not playing fluidly, we are not going forward, we have no ideas how to combine, we don't know how to go to goal. If we score, it's because we have some luck or individualities like Vlahovic that come. But is there some progression or not? Just to tell you before you tell me, since November 27th, Allegri has 12 wins, 6 draws, 9 clean sheets, 32 goals, 12 conceded. He's in a not losing streak in Serie A of 13 games, and in total, if you count all the competitions, it's 10 games in a row. Not bad, but do we see progression also in the game, Marcella and Alexa?
I mean, I think we see progression in the sense of you're taking one step forward and 2 steps back, which really isn't progression at the end of the day. But it's not like there haven't been bright spots where you think the team is moving forward. I mean, I think yesterday's game is a horrible example of to say whether we've progressed or not, because we're looking at 9 players being out, and most, for not all 9 super important, but most of them super important. So I don't really know how there can be any type of progression when you have that many important players out. I think that yesterday we put in a, you know, subpar performance, if I didn't want to say an awful performance, but Perin did have some nice moments. You know, we could have conceded a lot more than 0 goals. We could have conceded 1 or 2 at least. So I don't think it's fair to say that we had an awful performance, subpar, fine, but also of the school of thought that just be happy that we got the win. It's not like we knocked Fiorentina out of the competition. If you really want Fiorentina to progress that badly, they always have the leg at home against us if you really want them to go through. But I mean, we're all Juventini here. We want to see Juventus go through, even if maybe we're not all super excited about the Coppa Italia. Maybe, you know, we think that we should be focusing more on Serie A, finishing top 4. other games in the Champions League that are going to be really, really tough. So, I mean, I don't understand why you just can't be happy with the win. You don't have to be, saying that we played in an awesome game just because we won. We put in a subpar performance. They made a huge, massive error, one that I'll say Juventus did not make a huge, massive error. And we were pretty used to those last year. So,
I
be
want to
happy
hear
it wasn't us, and that's it.
I want to hear Alexa about, because Alexa is speaking a lot about beautiful football, and also she's loving Italiano that lost yesterday versus Allegri. But is the defense, because yesterday we defended with, don't forget, De Sciglio as the third man in defense, Danilo as the third man in defense, and De Ligt. So we are missing all our center backs. But is defending also an art? Because we are only speaking about how to attack, how to score goals, but is defending also beautiful? Can people also enjoy not conceding? Or is that for my generation, maybe? I'm asking.
I think it's possible. I was going to say, actually, I thought we had a really solid defensive performance yesterday. That was probably one of the better takeaways from the match. For me, I'm a center attacking mid. I love like attacking players, that whole end of the field. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, not the right person to ask for that. But I think that there's definitely an art to defending. And I think one that Allegri's mastered and is shown to have mastered in the past. I don't think that we're defending yet maintaining the same control of games that we did in the past. And I think that's where a lot of people's like frustrations lie, which I agree with. And I agree with both Christine, and I do love Italiano. Yeah, Cliff just pointed that out. But I agree with Christine and Marcella in saying that I don't understand why like results and good football or style of football have to be mutually exclusive. I think that you can't have both, right? And that's kind of the camp that I'm in. And at this point, sometimes with our team, it's not even like, I'm not expecting us to play like tiki-taka where I don't need a beautiful style of football. I'm just kind of looking for a style of football at this point, because sometimes when I watch us play, I really just don't see anything, and we're in March and I still don't know where our identity is as a team. Like what are we trying to do? Which like I said, credit where credit is due. We do defend very well. And I think that, like you said, if you look at our stats from November till now, I think that that's been shown. And I think Allegri's brought back some solidity at the back. However, just in other areas, and going off what you also asked if we've shown progression, I think it's hard to compare because I know that we are also out injured. We have a lot of players injured right now.
So injured.
We also picked up players in January too that were like Vlahovic is a huge addition to our team as well. So it's really hard to compare both. But I think that what's been consistent from November and the beginning of the season till now is that I still don't know what our identity is. Like I don't see what we want to do when we're on the field.
I think a little bit of that identity, especially after the last transfer window, has been impeded only by the number of injuries right now. We certainly are not optimizing the fact that we've got Vlahovic by all means because we don't have proper service for him. So I think that that's a key indicator that we're going to be basically just patching it together for the time being. We had Danilo in the back line, which obviously we kind of use him multi-perp player. De Ligt for me still pretty solid. I think De Sciglio, give or take. I just think he's a little bit inconsistent. Otherwise, I think that was our strength. And of course, like you, Alexa, I like aggressive, attacking, pressing football. I like the sexy stuff. Everybody does. It's exciting. It's what you want to watch. Nobody is saying like, can't wait to sit down and watch Catenaccio. Like nobody wants that. Okay. Like you're basically just parking the bus and praying to the gods that you've patched it up enough to shut down an entire game. Can it be tactically impressive? For sure. Is it fun to watch? No, I would say no. Hands down, it's not fun to watch. I also am a midfielder. I have no interest in defending.
I was gonna say I'm a midfielder too.
No, but
Which is funny
I
because
think
then
how do you say the three? Because one is you did, two is you both did, but the three of you, how do you say?
All three of you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All
I like.
three of you.
I like. All three of you, you recapped it really well. I like how you said it, and I think you're all. Oh my God, that's difficult. All the three of you, you're all right.
You're all. You can just say you all.
You all
Yeah.
are. No, because then you have the word all right. You
You're all right.
are.
Yeah, you're all right.
That's
You're
really
all
difficult
right.
for me.
Yeah.
That's
Y'all
really
are
difficult
right.
for me. I
I
will
know.
try. I will give it a try. You're
Color,
all right.
color.
You're right.
Tesoro.
You, I think that Marcella, Alexa, and Christine, they said the truth here on the channel. They recapped it really well. Look at that. When I say the name, it's easier. No, but look, what I was pissed off with was not really the fact that I'm not proud of the way that we played, but I look at things at 360 degrees. We are missing 10 players plus Szczesny that didn't play yesterday because Bonucci was on the bench but he was not able to play. You are missing your most creative player who is Dybala. You are missing so many players, and for a long period, what does mean that as a consequence of them not being there, you are playing with the same players game in, game out. Locatelli, it's obvious that the guy is really tired. He's even adapting to a role who is not his role. He's now playing box to box on the right side of the field. So, we played with a young guy like Marcella Lex, who will come on the youth in a few minutes, but it's hard. It's really hard for the team to play. Am I expecting a better performing Juventus with some creativity, with Juventus that wants to perform and not adapt to their opponent? Because I think that that's the biggest problem that we are seeing today. If we are playing versus Chelsea, we are adapting to the way they play. If we are playing versus Roma, we do the same. If we are playing versus Spezia or Salernitana, we don't care. We are playing always to adapting to the opponents. And we want, as Juve fan, that not only we are able to adapt, which is okay in some games, but that we also have an identity like you were all seeing. And that's what we miss. But I'm also realistic that at the moment, with injuries, but also with probably missing pieces in our team, because how many times do I see that people are criticizing players, Alexandro, Rabiot, so that means that the team is not perfect, and then I'm not happy when the guy are delivering a quite organized and structured game versus a Fiorentina that was playing Champions League final. Yep. We win and we are not happy, but what are you expecting then? And that's where I was absolutely not happy at all yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that people are very reactive, as usual, especially Juventini, and people don't take it particularly well. But again, this isn't atypical of the Juventus squad, irrespective of how good or bad or the trials and tribulations may be. I think the last couple seasons, it's been especially rough, especially with COVID. There's been a lot to overcompensate for, and we're still seeing injuries on this side. This is just extraordinarily bad luck that we've been hit with. To have all of these players at once injured is like, who gave us the Malocchia?
It's true, because they're all injured. It's a disaster. Who knows, Alexa or Marcella? Do you know a bit about medicine, or why are our players always injured? I don't understand. It's a disaster.
We either need new medical staff or trainers. Something's not right, or the training sessions are not going according to plan. Something is very wrong.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I don't even consider it bad luck at this point. I think that if you've been closely following Juventus for the past 5 years, you've kind of become immune to the fact that we always have important players out. Always. If not just looking at Chiellini for the past 3 years, one false move and the guy is going to, be broken eternally.
We do have some older dudes, so there's nothing that's right for that. Let's put it this way. They're not physical specimens like Zlatan. Okay, it's not
right.
Even he's injured at this point.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, 9 players. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. And honestly, I looked at the game yesterday before kickoff, and I said, we are lucky to get through this game unscathed without any more injuries, because we knew that Fiorentina was going to come onto the field playing like this was a Champions League final, do or die. They wanted to prove that they didn't need Vlahovic to put in a good performance.
Yeah,
especially and honestly, I'm just happy no one else got injured yesterday. I would have taken the tie even with that awful performance. The leg at home is in around 40 days, and our players will be back. It's going to be a completely different game, and you look forward to, changing the situation there. I mean, I'll take the ugly goal. I mean, this is Allegri we're talking about. We get by on ugly goals. That's how it's always been.
But you know what is shocking, and maybe Christine can answer, or maybe Alexa. But we changed all our medical staff, like I believe 2 years ago. All of them were replaced, and we still have the same problems. Or it's the weather in Torino, or La
It's
Continenza,
something
I
in the
don't know, the
water.
humidity in the air. It can be, or the
It's
fact
something in
that's
the
the
water.
difference with Premier League, for example. What I know, because I don't know Premier League that much, but apparently I heard it from Evra and so on. They were saying that at Juventus you have to run an average of kilometers per game. If you don't run them, you have to catch them up the day after in training, because you didn't reach your average miles that you had to run. It's a disaster. Maybe they are overworked, and all the players that are coming to Italy are saying we never worked that much in our life. Maybe we are exaggerating with that culture of working during training days.
I think.
But who
quite
else has
frankly,
this problem, though?
I
It's
think
just
that
us, though.
right, but not everybody is doing this the way that Juve are doing this, is what I'm saying. So it could quite frankly be the perfect storm, because remember, they're also playing a much more packed fixture schedule. We had corrections even from last season where you had games every 3 days, plus the demands upon them with this, plus with players now that have had COVID, that have long COVID. This is what's going to happen. I think that they need to actually change the regimen up and reassess what exactly. Yeah, definitely new strength and conditioning coach, because if we're busting knees like this, it's definitely a muscular problem, aside from the fact that, I mean, ACLs are ACLs and they're going to go if they're going to go. But if you have weak muscles or pulled muscles, or you're overworked, yeah, that you're going to start to see the breakdown.
Because even Ramsey said it, huh? Even Ramsey, that, okay, Ramsey is Ramsey because I saw the name, but he said in Italy, it's not fitting my way of training, and that's why I'm always also injured, because probably he had to work too much. I don't know. He's not respecting the resting time of some players. That can be really a problem, because Risencross was saying, do we need other doctors in 22-23? I don't believe it's the doctors. I think it's really that they are overworked in the week, and maybe taking it a bit chiller to be a bit more fresh when we are playing could help a bit. I don't know, but it's a problem.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know like what they do, get some more behind the scenes, but because it's really a question.
But the last time that we
I
saw
mean,
it,
at
they
that point-
streamed it the last time on YouTube. After 10 minutes, there was Stramaccioni, a young defender from under 23, who was actually fouling Rabiot. Rabiot was about to lose his leg. So maybe they are too intense during the trainings. I don't know. I really don't know.
But then look at Conte. I mean, everybody says that Conte is the hardest workhorse that you will ever come across. But you didn't see this many injuries with his players when he was at Inter.
With Conte, it's not necessarily physical. Conte is psychologically hard.
Right, but they also said that all of his players have said, I have never run as much as I have run with Conte.
But I believe
All
that
of
the
his
difference
players
with
have said that.
Conte is doing a lot of work in pre-season. Is draining the players until that, because in the books of Pirlo they are all speaking about the pre-training with Conte. But I believe that is maybe a bit more relaxed during the year, but in pre-training in the summer is going crazy, and then it's the mental boost and all these kind of things that Conte is not leaving you. It's not giving you time to breathe because he's always on your back and so on. But probably that can be a difference. I don't know, but I will not put it on Allegri only, because we saw the problem with Sarri, we saw the problem with Pirlo, with Allegri. It's not the first time that these kind of things happens, and it's a big problem because the consequences are that we are not enough. Then, and that's where I want to switch to the young players. Miretti, Sule, Ake, Stramaccioni. A lot of people were, and I will go back with first Caio Giorgi. Caio Giorgi is the answer. Before we had Vlahovic, he's the answer. We have to let him play. He's top until Dybala. He was injured after 10-12 minutes. Caio Giorgi played actually nearly an entire game, and he flopped because he was not ready. Now we saw glimpses, 20 minutes in total of Marcella in 2 games. He started playing and he did well in these minutes, and all the fans are saying, let him play. Allegri is not one that believes in young players. Yesterday he starts the game and he flops. And I love, because I'm watching a lot of under 23, so I love these guys. I know how strong and good they are. But are we not exaggerating? And yesterday, while the game was on, we were doing a 0-0. I was live on the Juve channel and I started again reading a lot of criticism towards Allegri because he was not playing the young guys. Are your opinion about the young guys and the management of our young guys changing a bit after we saw the performance of Caio Jorge in the beginning and also Marcella? Or what is your opinion about the youth management?
Well, first of all, I think that it's important to note that yesterday Ake played as a terzino, and he's not a terzino. He's a striker. And I think that if we're going to fairly criticize the players, then the game to do so is not the game that Allegri played them out of position. But I mean, this might be Allegri's plan for him. How many times have we seen Allegri say, you think you're this, but you're actually this? So
yeah, or this could be just the go forward plan for the time being because we have nobody to play anything.
Right, exactly. So
yesterday we had to play a 3-5-2. There was no other way, Marcella. It's not that he wants to play him there.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. But I'm saying that if you're going to then judge on his performance, don't do it on the game where he's playing out of position. And I think that a lot of people saw that and were trying not to judge him, too harshly because of that. But it would be nice to see him play that many minutes in a game where he's actually playing the position he should be playing.
It reminds me of like the chicken or the egg argument, where it's like you put in a young player and then they flop and don't do well. They didn't have the experience. But then how do they get experience? By playing. So it's like, I feel like we just have to have more patience. I feel like sometimes people either overrate them, like think they're going to come in and be absolute, like complete game changers to the team. Or they're underrated and they, like you said, if they come on and they flop, then it's like, oh, we should just move on to someone else. And I also think that there's a difference. And I know from even my own playing, coming off the bench as a super sub in an impact moment, like when we first saw Ake and we had that glimpse of him. And that's completely different than starting a game, and especially a game in, like you mentioned, out of position and in a formation, different formation from what our team typically was playing, and the whole situation. So I think that needs to be brought into account. And I thought that whole first half, we didn't play like neither Ake or Pellegrini often at all. We barely used our wings. So in the first half, but.
No, continue. That's why I'm not speaking. I let you speak.
I was going to say something. No, that's just what I meant. It's just I think that it's different coming off the bench as a sub. I think that just management of youth players, I think maybe just stop maybe going too much in either direction, right? Like maybe not overhyping them, thinking they're going to be complete season changers, and also underrating them as well.
I think that's a huge problem that we have as Juventini, because everybody wants the next young player to be Marchisio. And I think that is like a horrible, horrible way of looking at it, is that like everybody gets super, super excited about when a young player comes up thinking he's going to be this amazing thing. Oh my God, he's getting time. And then he flops. It's like the guy didn't flop. He just wasn't really brought in correctly. And you didn't,
but that's also
you didn't give him the chance.
Most Juventini have not been alive for long enough to not just consistently be winning. So the expectation there, they don't know what to do with themselves, quite frankly. People are literally tying themselves up in knots. And it's like, listen, we are well beyond where we should have been labeling things a rebuilding year. And we like put Band-Aids on everything that we possibly could bandage. And here we are. So
but I don't think that.
But is it not that we are creating fake expectations? Because if you look at our under 23 since the year, because it didn't even exist in the past, but if you're looking at our youth academy, how many players did well? And I'm not speaking only about Juve, but somewhere else in the world. Nobody, except of Marchisio, because he had the chance first to go with us when in 2006 we lost all our players because we went in second division. Then he went 1 year on loan and he came back. Except of him, you have Pinsoglio, Who's there from our youth academy? De Sceglie, that was really a mediocre player and that never did well at Juve, but he was there because he was able to enter in the Champions League list as a young player academy. And then you have Moisken that did well in the beginning.
And you also have Rugani.
No, because we bought Rugani from Empoli.
So
Didn't
what
he
I'll
origi-
He
say,
was
Didn't he
there, he
originally
went
come-
to Empoli, but long, it was
Right,
not
but-
ours, and we brought
right.
him back. Yeah, but he didn't finish. Yeah, okay, Rugani. And then you have another one who is Giovinco. But how many really are world star players from there? I believe that Juventus, they took a really right decision because they created that academy, that project of under 23, the only team in Italy. And now we are comparing with Barcelona, with La Cantera, with the young team of Real Madrid, with other... But they are projects that they have since 20 years, 25 years. And we are seeing now the results. And because these guys, Fagioli, Miretti, they are really great and much better than years ago. But probably they need a bit more time. Look at what Fagioli is doing. His agent is saying clearly, black on white, he's saying he needed a year of continuity being central as a project. What was not possible at Juventus with the pressure you have. And he's doing great. And probably he will come back and he will be a mature player with confidence. Look at Kulusevski. We were killing Kulusevski. He's 21. We don't believe in our young players.
what I will say is I think that this is probably the most promising batch of babies that we've had at one time collectively. I think that there is a need for more patience all around because even Juve in the past has been, very quick to pull the trigger on loaning a kid out or otherwise, which I'm not opposed to that, especially if they need to get minutes and you know that they won't get them elsewhere. But I think that should essentially just be the theme at this point is patience has got to be it. Allegri is locked and loaded for the next few years. I don't anticipate that changing unless something really catastrophic happens. He was put in place for stability, and that's about it. I don't really have lofty expectations there.
But a question, Christine, a yes/no question. From the start of the season till today, is he succeeding in bringing stability?
I would say just barely.
Okay, so not enough stability. I'm not saying building a top team that is ready to fight for a Scudetto.
No,
really stability.
We're so far from that. But I think that the expectation was that he would bring stability, and management mistook familiarity for stability, and ran into his open arms, and that's just what's transpired. I don't think that Allegri has the ability to come and evolve much further as a manager, unfortunately. I think that he's very set in his ways. He's acknowledged that the game's changed. I don't think that he's going to be rising to the occasion to be that hero. I think that he'll be in place. He'll try to stabilize things, barring any further issues, any more injuries, God help us. We'll probably find an equilibrium, and that'll be about it. I don't think that things are going to get sexy anytime soon for Juve, unfortunately.
You don't believe, Marcella, that with the summer, maybe with other expectations, we are speaking about, I don't know, Zaniolo, we are speaking about so many names in the midfield, Gravenberch to Pogba to Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, we were speaking about the left back. Don't you think that this year was actually a benediction that a blessing, that Cristiano Ronaldo left, because we were thinking to start rebuilding from next year, and we were able to rebuild from now on immediately with 1 year, where he's really analyzing the team, and we are bringing in these missing pieces to create a team that next year we can really elevate that team? Or do you think it's impossible with Allegri and that the way of playing will always remain the one that we have today?
No, I mean, I will say this, today, tomorrow, and forever. If Cristiano Ronaldo leaving meant that we got Vlahovic earlier, if at all, because maybe during the summer he would have gone somewhere else because he didn't want to wait any longer, I'll take that any day. I am super happy with the signings that we made in January. I'm super excited to look forward to next year, especially with Gatti coming on. I'm very, very excited to see how he plays. I, unlike Christine and Alexa, really, really love the defenders and think that defending, is an art. But maybe that's just because I'm a goalkeeper and I can really truly appreciate it for. But no, I think that next year, we hope that maybe Allegri with a little bit more tools in his toolbox will be able to play a little bit better than what we have been this year. I'm not ready to give up on him just yet, but I mean, how many years does he have on his contract? 5, 4? I would be really, I would be really, really surprised if, unless we started, seriously winning again, that he stayed for all 4. I think that with these players, would it have been great to have kept Pirlo?
Yes.
I think that it would have given him a better shot, and we didn't really give him a fair one, and but
nobody wanted to listen to me last season. No, I mean, it sucks. I wanted to keep Pirlo.
No, I was happy to keep Pirlo, but if we had to get someone else, I was going to kind of bite my fist with Allegri.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here now, and the thing is that we can't even.
Allegri satisfies 2 needs. It gave them somebody that they know very well. It gave them the financial stability, really, which is the important part in a very dire time. And I think that was sort of his fix in twofold.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think they'll ride that out, especially given the decisions previously, taking on Pirlo at the drop of a hat to fix another dismissal with Sarri. Picking up Sarri to begin with, I think, is probably the starting issue, because you never intended to commit to letting Sarri do Sarri ball. That's going to take time. There were a series of errors, and I feel like a lot of those knee-jerk reactions and overcorrections that they made put us in the situation we're in today. And for that exact reason, Allegri became a lot more attractive.
We have a good question from Aman. Lex, question from Aman. Do you think that another top coach would have done better with the team that we have? And don't think about Vlahovic in the beginning of the season, because he was not there. So with the team that we had in the beginning of the season, plus the additions, and with all the injuries and so on, do you think that someone could do better?
This is a tough question. It's a good question. So I'm considering just the whole season right now, like where we're at right now from September till now. I would say, I mean, at the beginning, it was hard because there was a lot of instability because Ronaldo leaving. And I always stayed consistent with mentioning is that what bailed out Allegri for me at the beginning was not having a proper striker. And also missing, we were missing still in the midfield. And so I was willing to concede those and kind of chalk the way we were playing up to missing those pieces. And then when we picked up Vlahovic, I mean, I still think that we're not there yet. I think that to answer that question, I think that another top coach could maybe definitely have us performing better, playing better soccer, because we and that's why I have trouble sometimes saying it's the players, because we have a good roster. We have I think we have a top 2 team roster. But that being said, with everyone healthy and fit. So I think that given the management of injuries and kind of, like I said, instability at the beginning of the season, I think overall you can say that Allegri's done a decent job of that. But I do think that another coach would probably have us playing better and probably getting more out of our better players as well.
Which is instant impact or long term? Because that's another thing. I see the names of Ten Hag. I see a lot of times the name of Ten Hag, but also, you have some players, some trainers and some coaches like Italiano and so on, Gasperini, all these kind of players that are playing well with their team and offering beautiful football, but they need time. All of them, except of Italiano that is doing instant impact. The other coaches, they need time to settle in, to play. They need the players with their characteristic. Don't forget that we didn't do any mercato in the beginning of the season because we had no money. And thank you to Ron for the beautiful donation, seeing a lot of beauty on this panel. Me, the girls are looking good as well. Thank you for the beautiful donation, Ron. But that's the thing, instant impact or immediately, I don't know. I don't know if that was possible. I'm asking myself, because otherwise I agree with Marcella, then we continue with Pirlo. A new coach with new ideas, and you have him already. But then you need a 2-3 year, at least a 2-3 years
That's always. I mean, and that's not also just simply Serie A. I mean, if you look at, and this, we pointed to this a lot last season, and he actually is like the gold standard. If you look at Klopp at Liverpool, that wasn't overnight.
Eh,
They gave him the time to do that. And if you don't have the patience with also the strategy in hand, you're only going to continue to fail in new creative ways, which I think is partially sort of what's happening with us.
but you know
And
also why, Christine? Because when Klopp arrived, it was already some years that Liverpool was not winning. So the expectations were not to win immediately, while Juventus with Sarri is still won. Then with
right.
Pirlo, we lost for the first time. And the expectations of Juve fans were, we are winning 9 years in a row. We want immediately the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. We have no time to lose. And I think that the pressure there is much higher when you are coming from a winning streak than when you come, like Christine was saying, at Liverpool that are not winning since year, and you have like 3-4 years to build. He did the same work at Dortmund before joining
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool. So I agree. I 100% agree.
Really quickly, just because I don't want, Katana had asked for clarification in what sense financial stability. He came with quite a hefty salary. I just want to pop back there. So, in the series of turnovers in which we sacked Sari and then had already dismissed Allegri. Wait, give me that order. Is my brain broken? Was it Allegri, Sari, Pirlo,
Allegri, Sarri, Pirlo,
Allegri?
Allegri.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, there we go. So that was the consecutive order of managers and their respective sackings. Okay, so for a huge for a huge chunk of Sorry time, we're still paying Allegri. Then we sack Sorry, we're still paying Sorry. We're
Mm-hmm.
still also just having finished paying. Wow, I don't speak English anymore. Mi dispiace.
That's okay. On my channel, that's allowed. That's okay.
Right? So we're now overlapping salaries with extremely high price tag managers as we then try to fix this issue with Pirlo, who was, of course, at a discount because we had hired him to manage the kids and then in under 2 weeks gave him the first team job, was another band-aid to fix that. So once we severed that tie, now we have all of our retroactive managers paid off and we bring Allegri back, and also with the unloading of Ronaldo. But in terms of managers, at least, we're only paying one salary at this point in time. Hope that helps.
Yes. I wanted, because we are here together for 20 more minutes, I wanted to go to another thing that has been discussed today. You have, again, because the Juventini are split on everything. Today they are split on whatever topic they are split. You have some people
Juventini
that
are never happy, Beppe.
we're never
You should
happy.
know that.
We're
We're,
never.
we're never happy.
Oi!
Ever, ever.
Some people are saying we are playing disgusting, it's a shame, but we have to believe in the Scudetto. And then you have the other ones who are saying, we are happy because we won yesterday, but we have to put the objective to enter the top four. We are not even sure to enter. So, everything is split. What is your because Allegri as well said in front of media, and pay attention, always pay attention to what Allegri is saying in front of the media, because what he's saying there is not always the same that he's saying in the locker rooms. But in front of the media, he's saying, forget about it, don't put us pressure because we are not fighting for the Scudetto. Today, microphones at an event, Cherubini and Dybala are saying, we are Juventus, we still have to believe until the end. So let's believe we can do it because we still have a lot of games for the Scudetto. Which side are you taking? You want to start, Lex? You believe that we can do it in the Scudetto, or top four, or maybe not even top four?
I'm gonna say, just for my own personal opinion, I like to still hope and dream that we can pull off something crazy
With
by the
Allegri,
end.
yeah?
You know what? Even with Allegri, I think right now though it's tough with the players that we have out. But if we can get some of our guys back, I want to say until it's mathematically out of the equation, I'm gonna always hold out that hope for it. I mean, if I'm speaking romantically, I'm hoping for it. Yeah, fino alla fine. But if I'm speaking realistically, probably a little too far back, and then given our depleted squad, I would say probably not. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that realistically, I want to shoot for everything, because even if I shoot for 6 feet out, maybe I come 4 feet out. You know what I mean? So
I think that
to make. Well, who's gonna win the Scudetto is the team right now who makes the least amount of mistakes here on out. Right now, we've seen Inter make a whole lot of mistakes. We've seen Milan make a whole lot of mistakes. And the only one who is capitalizing on these mistakes is Napoli. We haven't accumulated the points that we should have while these other two teams have been making mistakes. And if we would start capitalizing on these mistakes and really start pushing it, I think that we do have a shot. Because to be completely honest, even though that I think that right now, today, the favorite is Napoli, I do not think that Napoli is going to push it all the way. They have a history of this. They were setting off fireworks a couple of years ago when they thought that they had first place locked up in the bag.
Here's the thing. So Napoli are the only one right now that are not suffering significantly.
Well, pay attention because no. I just want to say one thing before you speak, Christine. They won versus versus Lazio really in the extra times, injury time, but the week before they did 1-1 versus Napoli. Versus Cagliari. The week before 1-1 versus Inter. So we are speaking great and well about Napoli. They just won in the injury times versus Lazio. Huh? Now I let you continue. Sorry, Christine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just speaking in the numbers of goals and whatnot. I'm just saying in terms of force, their defense is solid. They have Osimhen back. Insigne seems to be turning a corner, which is great. But I think that they finally have everyone sort of congealing for starters. 2, Spalletti. Okay? So I think that he's honestly one of the best managers, and he's never really had the perfect storm come together where he's had all of the tools he's needed. Yes, don't you
highly
agree?
underrated.
Because quite frankly, he put Inter back in Champions League after a 6-year drought. Okay, there's a lot of his accomplishments that go unseen because he didn't win a trophy or he didn't do the big thing. There was also his time. I think that I liken him a little bit to that same sort of intangible something that Conte has, which is like you're going to get the most out of a player, even if they're mediocre. He can make the mediocre dudes good, and he's done that. And then on top of that, when he was with Zenit, he brought them to group stage Champions League, second place, which was the furthest they'd ever gone. So I think that, again, given the right squad, he can do it. I also think Napoli are due. I haven't won since 1990.
Christine,
Spalletti. I will never say that Spalletti is an immense coach. He's a good coach, I agree. But a coach, for me, then maybe I'm wrong. A coach who's actually putting his head down and looking at the grass when it's really tough and difficult, for me, will never be a winning coach. Then maybe this year will do it. That maybe.
I'm just saying what I'm seeing out of Napoli, the way the table currently stands, and granted, things should still get interesting, right?
They have a tough schedule.
Right. Like anything could happen right now. We still have another 10 match weeks to go. So
11. We have 11 games. We have 11 games left to play.
Yeah,
it's a lot of games.
Inter with a game in hand. We've got Milan, Napoli. I think realistically, for me at least, Juve will still finish top 4 because Allegri will drag them there kicking and screaming by fight or might. I do not think we're winning Scudetto this year. I
have put the poll on. So let's hear Lex and Marcella on who will win the Scudetto this year and where Juventus will finish. And while you're speaking, the poll is live. So go for it, Marcella.
Listen, I don't want to say who's winning. I don't want to say who's winning the Scudetto because there's a lot of people here that telling me that I bring a lot of bad luck. In the beginning of the season when Roma was hot, I said Roma was winning the Scudetto, and look where they are now. So I will
Marcella, I literally last time earlier in the season said Napoli would win the Scudetto and they started losing. So by all means, have at it.
No. I want Juve. You shoot for the Scudetto. And honestly, I'm not even believing what Allegri is saying in the press conferences because look what he said about the Mercato. He said nobody was coming, and then we got Vlahovic and we got Zakaria. Give me a break with the press comments, Allegri. You're shooting for the Scudetto, and we all know you are, and we all know you are all going to fight tooth and nail for Champions League also. The end of the year, once we start getting players back, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. I really think that we're going to start capitalizing on these points, and honestly, I'm hoping on Sunday that Milan just give Napoli a run for their money.
But that's what Thomas is saying. He's saying
this is
Spaghetti.
the game.
Spaghetti is a coach of top 4 in Serie A, just not a number 1. Maybe he can pull a Ranieri this season. No, that last part I don't like. But
No, Napoli are the Napoli are the favorite. I will give it to them. They are making the least amount of mistakes. Like I said before, Inter and Milan making the most, and we're not really too far behind because we haven't been capitalizing on these games and these extra points. But I think that if you just put your heads down and work, we can still hope for amazing things. I'm not, going to be blindsided and say, Juve are 100% winning Scudetto, mark my words, but you have to shoot for that. You always have to shoot for the best performance. Always. You can't say, "Oh, we're shooting for 4th place." We're shooting for you're shooting for 4th place, and then maybe you wind up 6th. That's wrong.
Yeah, but
right now.
Mentally, it can also be a boomerang. If you really start believing, and
Exactly.
then you flop versus Spezia, and you are maybe risking your top 4, you can collapse. Pay attention.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried about Spezia because Spezia beat Milan, and we certainly are not on par with Milan right now. So again, in our wonky seasons whereby we are winning games that we should be losing and losing games we should be winning, who knows? Speaking of that,
I heard spaghetti.
Listen, I completely agree that it could have the boomerang effect, but you also can't short sight your players. You have to go into the rest of the season with the mentality that you're going to work hard to accumulate every single point that you are capable of accumulating.
I mean, Marcella, it's pro football. That's always the aim. But I think that there's a sense of realism that needs to be checked in. You can tell me all day and all night that I'm winning Champions League. If it's not realistic, it's not going to happen.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but that's what Allegri is doing right now in his press conferences, and I think a lot of people are taking it like a little bit too literally. Oh, we're not winning the Scudetto. He's only just aiming for top 4. You need to give a little bit more enthusiasm than that. Just a little bit.
What you're talking about right now is right now what you're talking about is PR for the external audiences.
No,
you might get it, you might not.
No, exactly. I completely understand that. I mean, look at Vlahovic. Allegri was saying that we're not getting anybody, and then we got 2 new players. We all knew that you knew that you were probably getting, somebody in the Mercato. But no, I just think there needs to be a little bit more optimism. I mean, come on, we're Juventus, fino alla fine, always.
Yeah, Punzara is saying the same. Fino alla fine, I believe we will win. Lex?
I still think it's Inter Scudetto to lose. I still think that. I think they've got a game in hand, and they were solid like this whole season, and the only one that can lose the Scudetto for them is themselves, and they don't look great right now. I think they're pretty out of form. They haven't scored in a couple games.
They never look great. We have to be honest. But
yeah, I know
they had a chunk of season where they were completely stacked and had quite some depth that it didn't exist elsewhere. Let's put it that way. If we had that kind of depth, we wouldn't be struggling like we are right now. But right now, their goal scorers, Lautaro isn't doing anything. Dzeko isn't doing. And quite frankly, if this is for me, this is not me speaking objectively. This is me speaking subjectively. If this is how Inter's wheels come off, let's go. I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. I think like right now, in terms of momentum, Napoli does look the best. I'd have to agree in terms of momentum because it seems like Inter wheels are falling off a bit. Milan out of this game this weekend is going to be huge for the race. But I agree with Marcella in saying that we're Juve, like fino alla fine, you have to still hope that we can pull something off. But I agree with you, Beppe, in saying like all it'll take is one loss to someone like Spezia or something, and then the dream gets quashed. So I don't know. I hope that we have a pretty nice schedule coming up ahead, that I'm hoping that we can do what Allegri's best for, and that is get those results in those types of games. And I think that would really help us out, and we can put some pressure on those top teams.
Pay attention, because we drew versus Venezia, we lost versus Verona, Empoli, drew versus Udinese. That's the team where we lost actually the most points. If you look, after the 4 first match days, we were at 2-12, and from that moment, we're actually the team that had the most points in Serie A. It's crazy. It's crazy. We have our fans from Tottenham. Matt Hayes, who's saying, I have no idea what the table looks like, but Forza Juve. Look at that. You see, I converted my friends of Tottenham in Juve fans. Grande, Matt. I'm super happy. Don't pay attention to that girl
That
here
doesn't
below.
even map, okay? Like Tottenham fans, that doesn't map to Juve because typically Juve fans are also Arsenal fans, are also whoever's leading, okay? Like Spurs don't even have any trophies.
I started watching Tottenham now, actually. So
We
Just to
all
see-
start to become our Tottenham
Honestly,
fans. Huh? It's correct.
One
I
thing that
agree.
I'll say is it's interesting over at Spurs. Only because of Conte. I mean, I said this in the beginning of the season.
that's
but-
the only reason why I'm watching, to be
Yeah.
honest. And of course for Decky, his new name, and Bentancur.
Yeah, I keep getting yelled at or actually I got yelled at for a full 24 hours when that hiring happened for Conte, where I said that I'm terrified that Spurs will actually be good. And people are, you mean to tell me that Conte's going to come in here and make them good? And I was like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, he'll make them the best version of whatever they can be.
I kind of also follow Tottenham now. I was a guest a few times there, and they triggered me, so I'm curious. Colo is saying something interesting. That's my state of mind. I want to see Atalanta losing points more than the other ones up
to
front.
Roma.
So
I don't think it's going to happen, quite frankly.
I agree.
I think we might get a draw out of that. That would be the best possible result for Roma.
No, Roma. I'm not scared of Roma.
Mhm. Okay, I'm just saying. Mark my words.
No, I don't, Mark. Mohammed, thank you for the donation. He's saying, giving the team with solid mentality, I can say now that Juve is the strongest. It's way hard without consistent legs on the field. Napoli favorite so far.
Yes, Mohammed.
Guys, you will see. Mark, you want my winner, because I didn't say it, huh? The
Okay,
winner of
let's
Scudetto.
go.
Of course, we always want your opinion, Beppe. Always. Always want your opinion.
Come on, Beppe. It's Women's History Month. Give us your opinion.
Milan will win it.
You think?
I know, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't
people.
know.
I don't think too much. I go with bold statements.
I feel like.
Milan will win.
Wait. So I have a question here, though. Is this based? But look at what's happening this weekend. Milan is winning if they tie or lose against Napoli on Sunday, or are they winning only if they win?
No, they win. Whatever happens, they will win this year. No, whatever happened, no, because if they start losing all the games, but you will
I don't
see.
think
You
so.
will see.
I really don't think so.
Mind my works. My works. Like Christine is saying, mind my works. You will see. That's a new way of saying it here on the channel.
Mark my words.
No, but it's better to say mind my works. Mind my works, and you will see Milan will win this year. For the chat said, because there were only 4 options, and so it was Napoli, Milan, Inter, Juve, or Atalanta, because they are nearly there. So 44% of the people said Juve or Atalanta will win the Scudetto. Then 26% of the people said, like me, Milan will win. 16 said Napoli, and 13 said Inter. So even there, we have a lot of people that are not sure yet. Huh? Not sure. I'm curious.
Pepe, looks like you got another donation.
I see here from Rick from Australia, Melbourne. Ciao Marcella from everyone in Melbourne. GG Buffon family. Ciao Rick.
We love our JOFC family in Australia. I'm just going to say that. They're all awesome. Every single one of them. We love you guys.
Ricardo is amazing. He's amazing. I have a last question before rounding up. Dusan Vlahovic, because we didn't even speak about him enough. As he's 22, already scored 4 plus 3/4 of a goal that they gave at the end as a known goal. So we can say 4 or 5, whatever. Instant impact yesterday. Beautiful gesture, because in Artemio Franchi was whistled for so long. Insults, racism, and so on and so on. At the end, he went to actually hug his ex-teammate after the own goal. Great man on the field, off the field. He's really good. I really, really like the guy. What are your impressions about Vlahovic, and where do you think he can arrive at Juve?
Best striker in the world.
I
For
like
me.
that.
I seriously, like, I think he's a real deal. Like, best young striker in the world. I think that he has made a huge impact. Like, our game is so different having him on the field, and he has it. He has that ability to just make a goal happen out of nowhere, and we've already seen that happen with him. And I just think that having a player like that is so special. Like, come on, coming on in your Champions League debut, scoring within 30 seconds. Like, I mean, that's just it's incredible. I think it's like I'm witnessing history right now. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with this team. He has such a high ceiling, and yeah, that's all I got to say on him. Just feel very lucky that he wanted to come to Juve, and I think that's also super important. Is that we don't have the financial. Oh yeah, I am. We don't have the financial pull of a lot of like Premier teams, and so I think he could have easily gone there and made more money, but he wanted to stay in Serie A, and more importantly, he wanted to come to Juve. So I think that's important.
Agree.
I think he's an amazing player. I think he's an even more incredible human being, and we know the guy is humble. We've heard it at his press conferences about Juve. We've heard him speak about his former coaches and teammates at Fiorentina in that press conference. He's a professional. He's a professional that doesn't let emotion get in the way of how he plays and knows how he should act on and off the pitch. And, I think that he's someone that, maybe in 5 years from now, the new guys are going to be looking up to him as what an example of what a Juventus player should be.
I think, irrespective of his trajectory, obviously we're expecting great things out of him. Something that I particularly noticed that I really, really like is some of the soft skills that he has that cannot be taught. He demonstrates a lot of leadership qualities. And I think that what we really were lacking in a lot of ways is that gel, especially in the dressing room. And I say this just based on little observations, like a couple games back. They went to go take a bow. He's like grabbing onto his other teammate's hands to go run to the stands. And he's reaching back, yelling at Locatelli to grab his hand. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And for him to be that young, and I think he has a certain amount of maturity that I wouldn't expect, and also an awareness. And so I'm excited to see where he goes in terms of his development there, because that's not something that can be taught. And I think that
the lip is the same way.
If that makes him elevate his other teammates, which is what I'm seeing, right? Like once we have everybody not injured and we're able to give him hopefully proper service and he gets to be the player he gets to be, I think he's dragging everybody else's average ass up.
I agree. Is he, and that's the very last question, is Vlahovic the one that will make all Juventini around the world agreeing on something? Because on all the other topics we are not. That's maybe the only thing that all Juventini agree.
Oh no! Also De Ligt. Come on, you have to give it to De Ligt.
Yeah.
De Ligt has really grown over these past, few seasons with us. And honestly, guys, he's the future captain of the squad.
I love him so much, I really do. But I think that he could be surpassed. I really do. I mean, I hope that De Ligt stays forever and ever.
I mean, I don't even think it's about surpassing in that sense. I think the two of them together could have an absolutely amazing career and do for this squad what players like Chiellini have done, can do what players like Del Piero have done, that really instill, the Juventus DNA in all of the players that surround them.
Yeah.
Don't forget Chiesa.
I'm hopeful. These are all positive things.
Oh,
These are good problems. Yes. Oh, Vlahovic.
But it's my birthday soon. Can I get a jersey?
The pink. First of all, I love Quadrado.
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing bad. He's doing bad this year. I'm not happy with Quadrado this year.
Leave him alone.
I still think he helps us so much.
He does. First of all, he's
agree.
so involved in so much of the work of any of the goals we score. His crosses are mwah, mwah.
He's the only player that drives at defenders with the ball.
Yeah.
Chiesa.
My God. Yeah. No, he's my dude.
Pepe, and you want to know why people ask you for jerseys?
It's true.
What do you think? What do you think this is? What do you
I
think
have too many
is?
shirts.
Oh, I'm wearing that one.
You have the Locatelli one as well?
No,
I'm gonna
Higuain.
Dybala.
Ah, eh.
No Higuain? Nothing?
No, I never had Higuain. No.
That's one jersey I wish I had. Higuain.
Higuain. Wait, okay, last one, and then we say goodbye to everyone. Christine, what is?
Wait, where is it?
And I want the chat as well to participate. What is one player that you don't have in your shirt that you really said, I had to take him on my shirt of Juve?
Oh, that you wish you didn't?
Yeah.
Or you
no,
wish
you
did?
wish you did. You wish you did, and like for example, you said Higuain, I never did it, and I miss him.
Barzagli.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Barzagli is a big choice. I see Trezeguet, I see Chiesa. Yeah, Chiesa, you have time. He's still playing at Juve, guys. Christine, which player? Lex, you want to go also first while Christine is thinking about all the years that she has?
Christine doesn't know her Juve answer, but I bet she knows her Arsenal answer.
I'm like, I'm old. No. No, so my issue here, why there's a stall, is I don't get players' names on my jerseys. Ever. I have one jersey with the name on it, and it's McKennie.
I know.
Juve. I always thought it was a little weird. I don't know. But if I could go back in time, I guess. No, maybe I would go Del Piero.
Del Piero. That's if you don't have Del Piero one and you follow him, that's a big mistake, Christine.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake. So suddenly, Marcella, she decided to become
I know what happened.
Super big.
What
it's time to say goodbye.
What
Lex, you said Lex, you said Higuain. You keep the Higuain answer.
Yeah, Higuain's my answer, man. So underrated when he was here.
Pogba. No, I don't think I'd go Baggio. No, I think for me it would probably be between Del Piero or Trezeguet.
Del Piero, Trezeguet. I have both. I'm super happy. Matuidi, Del Piero, Platini. Yeah, Platini, but in the time of Platini, there was no name. Even with Baggio at Juve, there were no name. It started later. Guys, thank you for the amazing live. 1 hour, 1 hour 10. It was quite nice. So I understand that you're all supporting Napoli when I'm saying that Milan will win. So let's see. And you all said that Juve will go in top 4. You're happy with Vlahovic, and we have to celebrate when we win. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Christine. It was really nice. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Hanging out. It was a good gang, especially get to hang out with Lex and Marcella. But yeah, no, always love you, Beppe. You do such a great job, and you're such a good face for this community. So thank you for all your hours that you do not sleep, because I know I can text you anytime, and I also don't sleep, and we can always chat.
And I answer fast, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not
Same.
like you. We have to ask you on Twitter to answer on WhatsApp. That's really... I answer fast. Thank you, Christine. Lex, thank you again to be there with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun again talking Calcio and Juve with you guys, and I really look forward to doing this again soon. And like Christine said, thank you, Beppe, for everything you do with your channel. And
thank you, Lex. And then we have Marcella that fixed the camera. Then first we saw the Zoom, then we saw the kitchen. Now we are back to normal. Ciao, Marcella.
It's a new computer, guys. It's a new computer.
Marcella needs her own, like, we're having technical difficulties graphic. There's stuff on there.
No, thank you, Beppe. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Lex. This has been an awesome live, and also thank you to the chat for all of the great comments that you guys always come through with, and can't wait for the next one, Beppe.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to Mohammed who's saying Super Marcella. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Katana, Mario, Bogdan, Arbicoms, Ron Rusitano, Arif, Ernesto, Home of Juve, Big FUK10, Cloviscio, Aldo, Bogdan, blah blah blah, Ryan. Ciao a tutti. Grazie. Forza.
Ciao a tutti.
Forza Juve. Ciao, guys.